if anybody ever tells me that when they're faced with that first reaction to that sort of problem isn't one of panic, I would not.
They're lying.
They are lying. They are absolutely lying.
Hi, I'm Oliver Joris, the chair of the YMB. We are here at the Institution of Mechanical Engineers for our latest episode of Talking Together. Today, we're interviewing none other than our president, Clive Hickman, to ask him about his presidency. So Clive, in your long and varied career, can you give a scenario as to how you overcame the pressures of work?
I'll pick one that was probably earlier in my career, and I was the person responsible for a vehicle development program, and we had about a dozen vehicles on this development program, and it came to the Friday evening, and we parked the cars against a wall. We went home for the weekend. There was a storm. We came back on the Monday morning. The wall had blown over on top of the cars, and the first reaction to something like, if anybody ever tells me that when they're faced with that first reaction to that sort of problem isn't one of panic, I would not.
They're lying.
They are lying. They are absolutely lying.
Yeah.
So then you've had your moment of panic, and then you realise you have to do something that is going to solve this problem. Yeah. So we looked at it, and we were fortunate. So we were fortunate that the wall fell on the cars, but about half of the cars had been parked facing the wall, and half of them been reversed into the wall. So we were able to put together about 7 cars that could go into the rest of the program.
That's incredible.
So we built those cars into the program, and we continued to run the program and satisfied the customer demand without any issues. But then there was a bonus, and the bonus was, because these were development vehicles and they'd all been insured, we were able to claim the insurance money for those vehicles, which actually made the project much more profitable than it would have been otherwise. So how do you turn an adversity into something that's a positive, I think is the message for that one.
Perfect.
How do you stand out amongst your peers, professionally in your voluntary capacity? What was it that people said, we need Ollie to do this job?
I think for me, I'd say there's probably 2 things. I'm probably not in as much of a rush as some people I have seen. I'm very comfortable with the slow and steady. I've been volunteering for about 10 years now, I suppose. I started with the Automobile Division Essex Centre, where I did a secretary role for 3 years. Really interesting to see sort of rubbing shoulders with people that were at a very, very, very high level, but able to just speak freely with them and openly about organising lectures and really selfishly proposing topics that I wanted to learn more about. Right, it was an opportunity for me to say, here's this doorway to me being able to invite these incredible. We had people like yourselves, we had people who ran vehicle programs who I'd have never had the opportunity to speak with normally, come and talk about their projects to a whole group of people. And I always found it was the Q&A session that was the most rewarding. They'd have these incredible slides, but then you got some real detail out of the Q&A that you wouldn't have normally got out of reading bits and pieces. So really for me it was finding ways of volunteering that excited me and led to things happening that I would have wanted to do in my free time anyway. That's not to say there haven't been the odd bit of hard work to do, but having done that, I think if it's something you do and that you enjoy, and you surround yourself by other people that enjoy doing the same, it almost becomes infectious, as opposed to a sort of volunteering chore. It becomes something you look forward to and want to do. So I did that with the ADEC. That then became the Automobile Division. As an Automobile Division member who had been within 10 years of chartership, I was then part of the YM, and then joining the YMB. I was again. I joined as the young member board representative for the Automobile Division, and that again was sort of another step for me, but surrounded by people who, again, incredibly passionate, and organising events that I wanted to be at and wanted to take part in.
And it's really interesting because my volunteering also started in a similar way,
right,
with the Automobile Division group that was based in in the West Midlands.
Right.
So I sat on that group, meeting at Jaguar at Whitley every month and going through things, and from there progressed onto the Automobile Division Board, where, as you say, you get to know some really great characters, and I found that really rewarding. I was given the task to set up the VTMS conference, whilst I was on the Automobile Division Board. I thought, well, how do I do that? I have no idea how to go about doing something like that. But then you look around and you meet people who've done similar things, and they can give you advice, and you take it forward. And I think it's those sort of opportunities that volunteering with the institution gives you that actually adds more to your fulfilling career, but also gives you an edge over other engineers at the same stage of their career.
Absolutely. I was, I suppose I think of it as sort of microdosing of coaching when I meet these people, and the opportunity to, I know, we have these networking evenings, and again, you get out of that what you put into it. If you do go around and talk to these people, you'll meet some fascinating people. You can ask them whatever you want. They can choose to answer you or not. So, casting your mind back to when you started your career, right onto when you were the MD in MTC, how do you think your strategies for handling stress have changed?
I don't think they really have changed. I think that, for me, it's a fairly simple answer. Don't take yourself too seriously. And if you don't take yourself too seriously, then things don't tend to create stress. If you take yourself too seriously, then you build up pressure on yourself. And it's pressure that you build within yourself rather than pressure from the outside that causes the problems. Not taking yourself too seriously, being able to laugh at yourself.
Thank you for joining us today for our Talking Together episode. If you would like more of this content, please like and subscribe.